Konene. So, jana kuna video fulani nilibaki nimeuliza uboy anaitwa Billy Mwangi. Tulikuwa tumekaa chini na alafu there was this breaking news, and the breaking news was that Ruto had gotten emotional while talking to Athletics Kenya. And of course, what ended up happening is people were sharing an image and we'd not watched the video. So of course nikasema like, oh damn, Ruto got emotional. And we talked about it, him getting emotional for the athletes, and he was not emotional for all the people that have died from road accidents lately. And we had that. Then baadaye, after showing Isha, I went and watched the video and I was like, damn, there's no emotion here. And I don't even think it's... Okay, najua, the president will try kusafisha rada, akabonga jua kwa emotional, but anyone else, especially the media, wasosha deal na microphones, wangefa kujua what happened and why the president felt like ana need kusafisha rada. So, wacha tucheki kitu ili happen, alafu nitry kukuanalyzia as a podcaster.
I am pleased to welcome you back home after your historic performance at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan.
So, tufike hapo. Utatiki, when he's saying the words, unasikia kama words inapotea because nimse iko na homa. Alafu since yuko na homa, yeye ni president, yeye si podcaster. Wasika sisi tukiwa na homa, tunajuaga there is a special way to treat the microphone. There are things you do close to the microphone, and there are things you do very far from the microphone. But as I said, the president is not a podcaster. He's not someone who works in media. So what did he do next while very close to the microphone? So he blew his nose directly to the microphone. Damn. What happens is your sound, of course, it's nasty, and I think he himself, he felt like this sound is nasty. But sasa ungeona the level of admiration from Mvuria iko like, oh boss, we have a cold, boss, we have a cold. Just less stories are vile demu shikaga bola alafu napata na raya fulani kiwa na demu yake nasema we are pregnant, like benda uko. So this was we have a cold moment. Angalieni vile Mvuria alikuwa amebambika.
You have to forgive me. This is a very emotional moment. I don't know why.
You don't know why. It's not an emotional moment. You blew your nose into a microphone. You felt weird about it, and that's why you said it's an emotional. Mvuria was there. Inashindagwa juu. Damn, like and when I look at Mvuria, I'm like, why is he this happy? It's because he knows the president appointed someone who's unqualified. Hii position ya Mvuria, and I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it, if I was to give it to anyone in the Kenya Kwanza government, kunafaa kwa Itumbi. Yes, because Itumbi understands, of course alipatiwa different office, but yeye alikuwa nafaa kupatiwa hii position, because of course Mvuria hana idea. But then, kama kawaida, I always say, let's give the president the benefit of doubt. So maybe he got emotional, because everywhere, like even Kenyans.co.ke alikomeandika, Ruto gets emotional while speaking to Tokyo World Athletics Champions at State House. So mi nika notice ni blowing his nose, it's nasty, lazima safisha rada. But wacha to watch, maybe at some point he got emotional and he cried about them winning. Because nikuwa nashindwa, vile tumeshinda hizi goals kaa mingi hivi, tunalia nini?
And I must say congratulations to you people. Tuwapigie makofi hao. You carried our flag with pride and brought great honor to Kenya, once again proving that we are a nation of champions. It is not an easy feat to achieve. Out of 198 countries, Kenya finished second overall with 11 medals, 7 gold, 2 silver, and 2 bronze.
Still waiting for the emotional moment, man. So I think another reason why the president said that alikuwa emotional is because ukiwa na homa inawezafanya your eyes to be all watery, and people are there wondering why is the president looking all unajua saa cause shida ya when you rise to such an office, people start assuming you don't go through the same ish, like you don't tear up, unajua utoagi machozi, utoagi makamasi, unajua ikiwa ni president kama mimi kwa Yeah, although ilikuwaga ni story na I think ni joke rapture alimekigi I think alikuwa na joke ati siku za Moi ati kulikuwa na nini raya iko ina take responsibility Moi akishuta hiyo tulifanyaga kwa one of the weekend updates like back in the days. Yes, presidents also, like normal body functions happen with presidents just like anyone else. So but as I keep saying, let's give it the benefit of doubt, because this was said on all media stations from Citizen to what kila kitu ilikuwa the president gets emotional. So let's see, where did he get emotional?
To be the second best in the whole world out of 198 countries is no mean achievement. This is an achievement we celebrate with pride, but more importantly, one that we must emulate as a nation in every other thing that we do.
Yes, there was no emotional there. So, but I understand, as I keep saying, the president has to be larger than life, and with that in mind, of course, it becomes tricky to just tell people the president blows his nose, the president has a cold. It becomes a little bit nasty. And but apart from that, another interesting headline iliona from your story ilikuwa ni Faith Kipyegon. She was there making a few jokes. So one of the jokes that Ali make ni, let me take this opportunity to say a big thank you to Ambassador in Tokyo. He did an amazing job to look for ugali for Wanyonyi. I don't think we'd have gotten a men's gold medal if it wasn't for the ugali. So of course hapa alikuwa na joke jia the fact that men didn't perform as well as women. Najua with men we ended up getting only one gold, which was weird because normally swingiaga pale tuko zile za iko nene tumekuja kuchukua medali, but this time it didn't happen that way. And yeah, whatever happened happened. But yeah, still tukistick na stories za Nairobi and the politics ama Kenya and the politics, kuna hii headline ilicheki, and the headline was Sakaja was quoted. Sakaja alisema if Nairobi was a country, it would be the 18th richest country in Africa. It has a GDP of $28 billion, and we are 3 times the GDP of Rwanda, 10 times that of Burundi, and almost 20 times that of Eritrea. And when I see this, I wonder, like, is this the same Nairobi that I go through? The Nairobi where I find potholes everywhere, manholes. Kuna kuangana some very dangerous manholes hapa Nairobi. I think majuzi kuna wasa alikuwa ameshare a video of a girl who was walking and her foot was stuck in the manhole and she was just inaitangwa ni writhing in pain. Yani alikuwa analia kabisa because alikuwa in pain. And yeah, then I hear this guy. I had to go look for the video to actually hear him say this from his mouth as I look at a Nairobi that nothing is working. But wacha tumsikize.
So, in this meeting today, what we want to achieve is synergy on how we can respond to the people and to the needs of the people of Nairobi. Nairobi sio county kama yote. It's a county of 7 million people, a city of 7 million people during the day, 4.5 to 5 million people at night.
Damn, okay, that one I didn't know. 7 million people during the day, 4.5 million at night. So hizi ni zile raya zinatokaga nje nai. So I guess kama unaishi Rongai jo, tumekurusha kwa hiyo noma ya 2.5 million wasa wa Kiambu county akina Ian za Gathiga kujaga Nairobi alafu zinarudi jioni. Tumetoka Nairobi kufanya kazi. So I guess wase kama hao, that's the reason why. Because otherwise ingekuwa nilikuwa expect aseme Nairobi is a city of 7 million people during the day, then 4.5 active million people at night. Kwa hiyo ni kazi gani inafanyika usiku? But wacha tuendelee.
If Nairobi was a country, it would be the 18th richest country in Africa. Nairobi has a GDP of $28 billion. Rwanda has $11 billion. We're 3 times Rwanda. We're 10 times Burundi at $2 billion and almost 20 times Eritrea. It must work.
What's there to laugh about? I don't look at Nairobi and feel like it's working. I don't even know what the national government is supposed to do and what the county government is supposed to do. But the few things that I know the county government is supposed to do, they're not working. Saizi hata nilicheki kulikuwa na notice ya water interruption I think this coming weekend. So Nairobi is not working. So when you tell me that Nairobi has a GDP of $28 billion, what the am I supposed to do with that information? Because everywhere I look, I see incompetence. I see people who voted in a governor because he had dimples. Kenya tumekuwa tukidu vitu za kipumbavu sana. Because vile musemaga, mi sijai forgive Raya for ile time ya Chiloba, ati mademo alikuwa anatuambia sijui Chilobe. Ilikuwa some bullshit that happened during hizo time. I think hata kuna majuzi mtu alikuwa ameshare like a photo from those days and you just look at it and you're like, Kenyans are not serious. Hatukuwagi serious kabisa. But yes, so so Sakaja was there busy telling us how incompetent he is. Because when I listen to this speech, all I see is a very incompetent governor because I don't feel like this. I don't feel like Nairobi is richer than Eritrea, Nairobi is richer than Rwanda. I have seen what things that are happening in Rwanda, but wacha tuendelee.
Ile uhusiano ambao tunahitaji kuwa nayo na nyinyi. Ukiangalia sheria ambazo zimepitishwa, mojawapo ikiwa Urban Areas and Cities Act. The Urban Areas and Cities Act section 6, to be precise, demands a close collaboration with the national government, but also with the people of Nairobi. We want a city of order, dignity, hope, and opportunity.
You can't tell me you want a city of order, dignity, hope, and opportunity, while in the middle of the CBD, I can't even receive a call. And that's a walk, like a few, less than 5 minutes walk from your office. It shows how incompetent you are. If you can't even secure the CBD, how are you supposed to secure the outskirts? Kama tukiwa katikati ya CBD pia lazima tukue rada na phones zetu, like it's nonsense, like okay, but tuendelee.
And for us to do that, there are things that must be corrected, and that synergy will give it to us. Waziri, vile nimesema yetu si kuzungumza suluhisho ambazo tunazo, ni kusikiza wananchi, but ni mzuri kuguide zile area. Kuna areas ambazo leo lazima tukubaliane. Umesikia? Kuna areas lazima tukubaliane. Jambo la kwanza ambalo lazima tukubaliane is how we are going to deal, because we need a clean city, on the issue of illegal dumping.
Before we deal with illegal dumping, let's deal with insecurity in this freaking CBD. Majuzi tu kwa nasemekana sana nyang'anywa na mavi. Niko sure in nonsense bado ina happen. Bado, as I keep saying, no one is safe in the middle of town. If you're walking with a bag that looks like you have a laptop, unaweza nyongwa at any point. Let's deal with that first. Tukisha clean up the security, then let's start cleaning up the cleanliness. And the cleanliness, it's more than dumping. I always say that we need to be cleaning the city. We need to be literally scrubbing the streets so that people can actually, tuone hiyo lami kikuwa black, watu spend less on getting their cars washed, and that is going to also save the city water. Kuna mseta kwa like move, but hiyo zinaenda kuaffect wasa uko na car wash. Watu wa car wash pia they need to up their game. History ya kuoshea watu gari na gunia, na hiyo ni buzi. Haufanyi kazi poa. Wacha ma youth wapate opportunity. Do your job well. You live in an age where you can sit down and see how a car is supposed to be cleaned. Gari haifai kuoshwa na sabuni ya toyo, sijui ushindi. Msama ingi hapo na gari iko na last, gari na shine, inaenda pale inaoshwa, rangi kila siku inapotea tu. Rangi inapotea tu, gari inakaa tu imeparara. Wewe mwenyewe ushajipakaga sabuni ya kipande jo. Unajua kwa ushaishi poverty ya bwana, unajuaga hivyo jo. Sisi jo mother alikuwa anachukua tu kale ka sabuni, ukishaoga mother anachukua sabuni yenyewe anaifanya hapa na kupaka. Unaenda hapo umeparara, but apart from kuparara, what used to be funny, sura ukauka. So unajipata ukimake faces, try to straighten sura yako. Hiyo ndio story na sabuni ya kipande. But whom set us need kuendelea kumsikiza, because he's one of those, like, he's so incompetent. But now I had this very scary story, and this scary story kwa natoka maside za Kiambu. So ilikuwa kwa Daily Nation ya Thursday, and the story was 136 newborns dead amid Kiambu doctor strike. Alafu ikasema ni at least 136 newborns have died in Kiambu County since the start of the doctor strike, now in its 127th day. The deaths have been recorded at Kiambu and Thika level 5 hospitals according to data by the Doctors Union. So 136 kids, 127 days. That means at least one kid per day. And some on 9 extra days kulikuwa na at least more than one kid. And this is just scary, man. This is just one of those. Like, this has been happening for 127 days and we don't even know about it. This is how much hii country musemagala tunakuwaga na kitu tunaitaga selective outrage. So the selective outrage will be outraged by if someone dies in this way, but if someone dies this way, hiyo ni sawa. So perfect example, if a Kenyan dies in police custody, we'll be super mad. If Kenyans die for roads, we don't care. And it's a very messed up way to look at stuff, because there's higher chances of you as a Kenyan dying on the road than dying in police custody. So we need to be outraged by both. Semi hata moja kuna wase utakaga kuchukua vitu alafu wa twist in the way. Kile nasema ni hatufai kuwa na selective outrage. Tunafaa kudemand every life to be protected as much as possible. So now if I look at Kiambu and it's 127 days and we didn't even know, sisi watu watoki Kiambu, we don't even know about this. No one is asking for the resignation of the governor, because if the governor can't come up with a way where public hospitals can work in Kiambu, then he needs to, unajua, leave office and let someone else take over. But this is how we are going to look at it. It's 136 newborns. They were not fully grown adults. Do we really need to care about it? Unacheki. So even tunaangaliaga vitu, and that means that we don't respect life. And if we don't respect life, this ends up happening. 127 days. By the time unawochi ni the 128th day. And most probably, as we said, a kid per day. So right now, we are at what? Are we at maybe 37? And it's just... yeah. So yeah, this is one of those things nilicheki nikabaki nimeshtuka. But then, another story nilicheki ni kitu moja unibambaga. Unakumbuka nikicheza nani? Msanaitwa Aries Spears na ile story yake. Mr. Whiteman. And Raya unibambaga sana, because I always get into these arguments ile naambia Raya that racism exists, then Raya nakuambia hakuna racism. It means that you have, what is it called? You have victim mentality. So okay, that's going to happen. So that happens. But now someone says something so dumb, pako unashindwa nafaje kuangalia hii story. So kuna mother alibaki release statement akibonga juu ya America na kusema zile vitu tunafaa kuambia America. Na naweza taka kujua who mother hajakuwa kicheki like what Trump has been saying, because the woman ended up talking of how tuna need to report the deaths. Ilikuwa ni, I call upon the US government to protect the Kenyan Gen Zs. There must be full investigations into those who've lost their lives, yet no one has been held accountable. The US government. The US government. What? Because of some third world? Shithole? They can't even protect their own. Nilikuwa na watch documentary fulani ya msa anaitwa Elon Musk. Alienda kafungua some factory ya nini, sa power plant ya XAI ya kurun grok next to some black neighborhood. Ina release all sorts of poisonous gases. People have been dying there. Wasome kwa diagnosed na cancer. They don't give up. So they're supposed to give up, especially Trump. Juu ya third world country, shithole, with watu wako na ngozi kama hii, pumbavu muonaga na shindwa na. This is embarrassing. Paka una hope, hizi ni zile news mtu hope hazitaenda huko nje. Because mamblame zikichekizi na tuka watu ni mafala. Mnafikiri tutashughulika na shida zenyu na tuko na shida. Hiyo nchi yenyewe iko na shida zake. Sasa inafaa kudilaje na shida zetu. So but ni wale mafala tumepeleka parliament, and so this is that level of reasoning ile tuna get. But another thing, Morara strikes back. Yeah, Morara strikes back. And how do I feel? Feel like it's high time that Morara strike back. Because you can only take so much bullshit. So, this is how yesterday it happened. Morara alikuwa ameandika, if you know you trolled me when I was trying to make a change in this country, You caused me an immeasurable amount of pain and dragged my reputation and integrity through the sewer line. You insulted me with confidence, yet you don't know me in person to testify on what type of man I am. I haven't healed, but I will. And the consequences of my failure to make that change will be more painful on you than on me. Then msanaitwaga dhua wakashora akasema vengeful like a kindergarten kid, go to hell, sell out son of a bitch. So kila mtu amekuwa kiitwa sell out. And yeah, a man can only take so much. So the next thing Morara alisema ni umbwa wewe, mdomo kama ya ng'ombe, mdomo kama ya ng'ombe. Damn. Niko like, mdomo kama, unasema mdomo yake inaka, I understood, man. You can only take so much. Like Kenyans just wake up and they come up with these fictional stories. Yani unajua gani? So inakuwa ati Morara is working for the government. I'm like, sawa. So Ruto ulipa Morara do. Ndio Morara atokee atuambie vile Ruto ameiba. Yeah? So Morara is working for the government? Okay. The same way majuzi ilikuwa Kioni akisema that Gachagua is working for the government. There are some stories that don't make sense. They literally don't make sense. So I was happy to see that Morara alisema hivi. But one of the funniest things is kuna mse alikuwa ametweet ati at some point Morara would lose his shit. So ilikuwa 9th of May 2025. Kuna boy anajita Monene. This is Brayo. Alikuwa ameandika Morara sasa amebakisha kuita watu maumbwa after mshamto wa block. So I think alikuwa na ana joke juu ya the fact that kusasa alikuwa na accusing Morara of using people's money ama whatever. And Morara's idea was so simple. It was go out there, expose the ghost projects and leave it at that. That's what he used to do. But somehow, of course, sisi tukadu nini, tukamsupport. Then at some point, we started going after him. And he's been dragged through the mud. Nimekuwa nikionaga every time nikienda Twitter, his image is used and people are mocking him. If this happens and this happens, and at some point you just have to be like kaende. So yeah, kwa watu walishtuka sana wakafikiria Morara do the wrong thing. Mimi nilifikiria yes, this is the right thing to do. And why is it the right thing to do? Because at some point you just have to say F it, man. You have to say F it. Because pia it's one thing ile musemaga shida ya Kenya ni we have a very tricky relationship with success. Yes, we have this very tricky relationship with success where we want people to succeed but not succeed so much. So Morara was okay before wacheki that he's doing okay even in his personal life. So ile time alikuwa na donatiwa keja inakoka ofisi, that was okay. Time alikuwa naenda katikati ya town natoka nje ya gari na bongesha wase, that was okay. But as soon as wasali notice, by the way umsea kuagi amesota na hii do si ya taxpayers, so lazima hii do ikue nile do mimi mtumiaga ile siku 20 bob. 20 bob yangu nimfanya umsea amechukua Prado, so acha nileteza ovyo. Alafu soka baki wamemletea hivyo. And I think the only thing naweza sema, hii ni kitu moja nilibaki nimecheki online na nifikiria inaweza come to Morara, inaweza what's it called, inaweza associate na Morara. Because the price of success is hate. The price of authenticity is being disliked. The price of improving yourself is loneliness. The price of progress is pain. And I think for him, he was getting too successful, even the politics game, because to be able to go out there, stand, juagari, talk to the people, that was it. That was the price that he was paying. Alafu different people pay different prices. Mimi price gani mwefashailipaga ni the price of authenticity is being disliked. Raya mingi zinalaikigi na zinataka nifanye kile wanataka nifanye na sitaifanya kile wanataka nifanye. Tafanya kile wanataka nifanye. Because why? Authenticity is a very good thing. Like ile time uko kijani and you're somewhere seated down and you're looking at yourself, you're like, I've not tried to be fake to be liked by someone. So kuna raya zitabaki zimeita kiburi, but ikwagi kiburi na kwaga just to keep it real, because there's always someone telling you something. Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. If you don't do this, then I'm going to stop doing that. Alafu sasa unajua unafaa kupani kumekaa chini uko like, if I don't do X, then Degwa from Dubeli is going to stop watching Nini. Then goes later, but have you ever heard of Degwa from the belly before today? No, I'd never heard of Degwa from the belly. So should I do what Degwa wants? Because like Degwa on Dutch Meru, iko nene.